annads, hello you absolute lovelies. Let's talk all about The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5. What's building to the big climax of this second season, an episode I really enjoyed but definitely felt was a bit of a bridge episode. A lot happened in this episode, but I feel like it was to serve a greater purpose for the big finale, and I'm actually genuinely shocked we haven't gotten more Abby yet, and more establishing Abby's backstory to make us feel more sympathetic, but I am interested in the pacing of probably having a very Abby-centric penultimate episode and then a very conflicting finale. Gonna talk all about it with full spoilers for the episode itself as someone that is a casual Last of Us fan, a big fan of the show, but have never played the game. So I know as much lore as the show is giving me, but I have no exposure to what is going to happen next. So that's the perspective I'm reviewing from. If you're new to this page, please hit that subscription bell. We are approaching 50,000 subscribers, which is amazing. When we hit 50K, I'm gonna be doing a 50 comic giveaway, because this page is all about movies, all about TV, all about hitting your elbow, and all about comic books. That hurt a fair amount. I'm gonna be diving into all of that right here on this very page. So please check out this page in its entirety and hit that subscription bell. Also leave a comment on this video. I want to know what you think of The Last of Us so far, and hit a like while you're pressing buttons. All right, episode 5. This was an interesting episode because the last thing I expected was Jesse to come back into the fray, but I really like it because it adds a third-party element to the conflict of saving her, as well as puts us in a more tense place. I actually buy the rescue moment. I really think that Dina and Ellie needed it narratively and structurally. So I'm really intrigued by moving forward with the three of them working in conjunction. I like that it's him. It seemed plausible he would rebel in his own way and come and rescue them. He clearly loves her. He cares. I really liked that moment. It really worked for me. I also think that it is going to be interesting to see the three of them navigating things together, working together, and all that going forward. So that really worked. Seeing the brutality of the scars, I also thought was really interesting. I keep talking about the human nature of this show, and I think adding in more around our two leads only contextualizes the world better and better, but I'm shocked by how much I love the introductions. The preface to the show, the moment before the opening credits, all of the cop stuff with the, local militia, and how much you immediately care about these actors and these people living in this dystopian world is fascinating because they're working against you. Like, these are the wolves that are working against our leads. These are the people that are, coming at these people. And then we've also had moments where we thought we sympathized with the scars. We've had moments where, we feel like we don't know who we're rooting for. And then, we've got our leads that we know we're rooting for, but in a world where people are just trying to survive. So I love that opening being about this militia doing what they can to contain, doing what they can to keep order, and that brutal twist at the end of this incredible scene, impossibly good acting. I love the use of the camera having us speak directly to this woman telling us what's going on, and it going right into our soul, and then finding out it was her son that she kept referring to Leon. Why there was that hesitation with Leon. We thought, or I thought it was like, he's this leader, he's important, people are mad because Leon's gone, but making it her son and then seeing her son later, that was so incredibly brutal. Really been enjoying the wolf stuff they've been doing to start the episodes, be it the cameos last week, these great actresses just crushing with this world building here, and then we get that great introduction and then into the world we've known so far. I think that really just enhances the world top to bottom so that when we encounter wolves or scars, we care a bit more. And going back to what I was saying about the scars, that scene of brutality with the I don't even know what you call it when you gut someone like that and their entrails come out, it's somehow more grotesque even in a world where we've seen all this gore and blood. I think because we've been living in this world so long, it could get easy to get desensitized to the violence. And I think adding the scars, running from the wolves, adding this inner turmoil, this turf war, this fight for land and safety is really allowing us to care more, even though neither of those parties are on our side. And that is why I think this episode felt like a bit of a bridge. One, it was a very short episode, it was 45 minutes, but two, I honestly feel, and that's without credits and whatever post stuff, the episode itself, 45 minutes was the runtime, and then I don't even know how many credits, so could have been like 37. But I think having us build action, introducing the spores visually not affecting Ellie, which has been a curiosity for me. Is there going to be a variation on the virus that does start to infect her? If she's breathing in the spores and she breathes them out, can she infect others? But that whole video game level feeling of exploring B2 and navigating this world and seeing the new horrors of them trapped against the walls, again, seeing Leon and feeling that connection, but the escalation there and taking out the Nora actress, taking out Nora, who we had not seen since the beginning, but it had that small connection to earlier, and that empathy and that sympathy, all of that feeling as always like a video game. They had that beautiful guitar moment. They had that beautiful like walk through the level. And now that I know, someone told me in the comments last week, the guitar was like a loading screen, which is what it felt like in that episode. But having all these connections that feel like how I imagine the gameplay goes, and that definitely, I mean, flashlight, walk through, elevator jump, all that felt like a video game. I think all of that is such a beautiful love letter to the game, but at no point did I feel like I was watching someone else play a game in a boring way. And I've said that since season 1. That's like high praise. I don't personally get a lot of love out of watching gameplay. I really think this does this perfect blend of both worlds. And this episode in particular felt like the level right before the boss fight. This felt like you're climbing action. You're getting more information about the spores and like what that is, and you're getting it from all sorts of different sources. You're getting a climax between the wolves and the scars probably in the next episode. I assume narratively next episode is going to have Abby and why we can in some way identify with where she's coming from beyond Nora once again describing her father and Ellie very coldly saying I know. Besides Ellie having that moment of emotional turmoil when she's about to kill Nora. By the way, I will say that is my one negative about this episode is I did feel that she's not getting out of the can't handle herself allegations with the few times we see her in a moment where she needs to be capable being taken out when she's got a gun literally on someone. I get the emotion. I get what they were going for. I'm just going to acknowledge that moment didn't quite work for me. But I really think we're building to something incredible with a 2-part finale, which is what I think we're going to get next week with episode 6 out of a 7-episode series, being Abby-centric, being a building action with the Scars and the Wolves, being a building action with a now everyone knows pregnant. I'm wondering if Jesse finds out Dina's pregnant in the next episode, and then going into the finale where do we get resolution? Do we get closure with Abby? Does Ellie kill her? Do they get home? What happens in this town? Now, I know there are 2 Last of Us games, and I think there's more story to be told. I'm curious, do we get a 3rd season of Last of Us? Does this end in a way that feels resolved? Does the game? I don't know. Please don't tell me. I want to watch this show and see. Tell me in the finale if the game ends in a way that feels resolved. But it's really interesting being at this point in the story, 5 out of 7 episodes in, and feeling very connected and very in, but feeling like a bridge episode is only building up to a huge finale. So, like this episode, like the pacing, like the choice to make this feel like it did. Really enjoyed all the side characters, maybe even a little bit more than the main plot. As always, Isabella Merced is so incredible. The scene of Dina describing the first man she killed and that horror and the neutral brutality of it, and this being a day at the office, and that's what life is. You got to do what you got to do. I will stick with you. If I die, it's on me. We can go back. It's totally your decision. And it not feeling boring. It just feeling like that is the world. It doesn't feel like there was no emotion. It was so much emotion that it had to be a neutral. And that is such a fine tightrope to walk. Really incredible work. Really well lit to get the raw emotion in her eyes and that connection. Just so impressed with Isabella Merced. Very excited to see what she does next. She's got Hawk Girl this summer, and her career is insane. So just really impressed. I get why and how she's working. And the guy that plays Jesse also killing it. Really impressed there as well. Curious how this goes next week. Without spoiling, let me know what your thoughts were in the comments below. How did you enjoy this episode, whether you played the games or not? What did you think of this experience? Did you find it was like kind of a bridge building something as well? Did you enjoy the moments with the Scars and the Wolves outside of our 2 leads? Did you also like the Isabella backstory that we got this late in the game? Let me know in the comments below. Press that like, hit that subscription bell. I will see you next week for more of this. I will see you not Tuesday. I'm busy Tuesday. I have a concert I'm very excited about. So Wednesday or Thursday, I think I'll be putting out my Star Wars Andor thoughts. 3 hours, so I can't watch it at midnight. Sorry. But I'll be back next week with Andor as well as my comic coverage as always and more movie stuff on weekends. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.